Yeah. Do here, right? Okay. If it's much better for you guys, I can just do it down there. It's fine. It's easier. It's for the Krishna path primarily. So whatever's best for you guys. Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's better for me. All right. Let's do a little kirtan. Hare Krishna. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatharine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatharine Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Jai Om Vishwapad Paramamsa Parvacharya Shritar Shishimad, His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai, Srimad Bhagavad Gita Ki Jai. Oh glorious assembled devotees, oh glorious assembled devotees, oh glorious assembled devotees, oh glorious to Shri Guru Gauranga, oh glorious to Srila Prabhupada. So today we're going to do the second in the three-part presentation on karma. Karma comes from the Sanskrit root kar, to do. So karma just means to do something that we do. Sometimes we think of karma as sort of like, oh, that's your karma, that's whatever. But karma actually is what we do, which is an interesting distinction actually, right there in the beginning, because we naturally think of karma as like destiny. Oh, that's your karma, that was meant to happen. But the actual sort of root definition of karma is to do something. In other words, it's your action. It's actually your free will. Right? See what I'm saying? Interesting, right? Even in the definition itself, it's not deva or destiny, something given by the demigods or given by something else. These words like destiny is like deva, given by the demigods. That's sort of how they say destiny in Sanskrit. But karma is just straight out. It's just work you did. Karma, something you did. Interesting, right? So it's actually giving that more the emphasis on free will rather than destiny. That whole thing about, is it my destiny or is it my free will? Of course it's both, but ultimately it's your free will, because it's the free will that creates the future situation. Alright, we'll talk more about that. Alright, so this one is called freedom from karma and giving up desire. Some spiritual paths say that the solution to karma and suffering is to give up all desire. So if karma means work, some spiritual paths say just give up all work, just give up anything, don't do anything, right? This is the general Buddhist teaching. Desire means suffering, therefore kill all desire, stop all suffering. Simple premise. However, the Bhakti tradition says that desire is an innate part of the soul. The soul ultimately is a person, is conscious, experiencing person that has desire. And that desire can be on a spiritual level, or it can be on a material level, subtle material, in goodness, passion, ignorance. It can express in different ways. But ultimately, you cannot kill all desire because the soul desires. That's the bhakti take on it. So as the soul becomes free from matter, we see that the desire becomes more pronounced. A stone basically doesn't desire, okay? A tree has very little desire. What's the desiring potency of a tree compared to, a human being? Very little, right? Can desire to grow, give fruits, grow towards the sun. So the more covering we see, the less we see desire. So if we look at that logically, we'd see there's something in there that has desire, and the more covered over it is, the less desire it is. The less the desire is able to manifest. And as it becomes more free, as it comes to an animal level, then animals have much more complicated desires than trees. They're less covered. And then we come to human being, and humans have extremely complicated and subtle desires to do all kinds of different things. So that alone lends weight to the bhakti explanation that the soul is full of desire. And the more the soul, or the inner consciousness, is exposed, or the more it's free, the more desire happens. You see what I'm saying? If the soul was free from any desire, didn't have any desire, then you would see that as the soul became more and more exposed, there would be less and less desire, because you're getting closer to that pure soul. So the desires become less, but that's not what we see in the material world. So that's interesting point, right? So the bhakti text teaches that desire is an inherent part of the soul. To try and give up desire altogether is a very artificial situation for the soul. It's it's artificial. It's not possible. It's inherent nature, like salt, give up being salty. Can't do it. It's the inherent nature of salt. It tastes salty. So you can try to cover it with so much sugar that you don't notice it, or you can try it artificially, but salt is going to be salty. So like that, the inherent nature of the soul is to desire, to want to do things, to interact with other souls, and so forth. So what is the art of work? Oh, we've got a nice picture of Julian here. Look at that, picking flowers. I don't know that we had that. So in Bhagavad Gita 3.9 we have this verse, Yagna artat kamano nyatra loko yam karma bandhana tad artam karma konteya mukta sangha samachara. So the word karma is right there, right? The karma, or the prescribed duty, work done as a sacrifice for Vishnu has to be performed, otherwise work causes bondage in this material world. Therefore, O son of Kunti, perform your prescribed duties for his satisfaction, that way you remain free from bondage. So this is the way to get free from karma, in the bhakti text, is don't try to kill all desire. You can't kill all desire, because that's the inherent nature of you. You are desiring, you will always desire to do something. So don't kill it, don't try to kill it, you can't kill it. But try to use those desire in a service attitude, right? As a sacrifice, or as a to please Vishnu, it's a service to the Supreme, right? And he says, in that way, then you'll remain free from your karma, bondage, karma and material world. Mukta sangha, right? Sangha means association, or bound up with the material world. Mukta means liberated, right? Mukti, mukta. Mukta sangha samachara, always. Sama achara, always, at all times, in all situations. So this is the art of work the bhakti texts are teaching us. We can't become free from our karma by simply not doing anything. We can become more like a stone. We can become more like a tree. But that's just covering, right? We're just covering over. We can say, oh, the trees are so peaceful, they're not disturbed by any desire. Yes, but they're also not doing anything much else, right? We don't want to become like a tree, right? This is the, I'll just go back a couple of slides for those who decided to come. I once does anybody know of a really amazing devotee called Bhakti Tirtha Swami? There was a guru in the movement. He wrote some amazing books. I don't know if we have any here. It's called Spiritual Warrior, and he's amazing, incredible devotee, like pioneering, forward-thinking devotee. He left in, I want to say 2006, something like that. I was actually staying here in this house. Anyway, something like that. So whatever it is. What are we now? 2024. Wow, almost 20 years ago. So anyway, I had to interview him once, and he had his watch set 15 or 20 minutes ahead of the time. And I said, "Why do you do that?" He said, "Because I'm always like, otherwise I'm always late." So I see the clock goes 5 o'clock, and I go, "Oh my God, I'm not there. I'm meant to be 5 o'clock. Oh, I've got 20 minutes to get there." So you get that experience of like, so I've done that sometimes. It works to some degree. Now I have, anyway, whatever. I'll go down this rabbit hole. But anyway, all right. So let's go back, and this first one is basically saying some spiritual paths say that the solution to karma is to just stop desiring. But the bhakti path says that's artificial, you can't do that. Because the soul inherently is desiring. The soul is not, white light or a nothingness or whatever. The soul is actually a person that's desiring, that wants to have desire, and ultimately spiritual desire. So we see that even in this world, as the souls become more uncovered, the desires, the wanting to do things and interact with other people become more. Just like in a tree, the soul is very covered, but the desire, the things that they want to do is very covered. It's very almost impossible to see. But then when you come to animals, then they want to chase after food, or they want to do things you can see. And then you uncover it more. As a human, then they have much more desires. They want to do different things. So as the soul becomes more uncovered, the desire, the wanting to interact and do things become more, right? If the actual nature of the soul was to just be totally desireless, as it became more uncovered, you would expect it to be like that. But it's not. It actually increases. So anyway, this is the argument that desire is an inherent part of the soul. You can't kill desire. You can just cover it temporarily. That's it. So this verse is, Krishna is given the answer that you desire to serve Vishnu, serve Krishna. Your desire is to please him. Then in this way, you'll get free from karma. Not by trying not to desire. This is not going to work. Because you're negating the very nature of yourself. You're covering the very nature of yourself through that process. Kind of scary when you think about it. So working in devotion means that karma no longer acts on us. Right? The opposite of that is trying to control, trying to enjoy, trying to be the controller, and that's what implicates us in karma. That's what makes karma. So if we release that and try to act on a level of service to Krishna, then that's free from karma, akarma. Right? It's karma, vikarma, and akarma. We know those terms. Okay, so such work frees us of karma. So how do we do that? So eating vegetarian food can be offered to Krishna. He accepts that, relieves us of any karma. There's always some karma in taking food. Even the plant has to get killed. Work, we can do some work for Krishna or give some part of the results. And mantras help purify the karmas of the subtle body. They help to realign the soul in that spiritual connection with the Supreme, rather than being connected to the material karmic world. All of these processes are very powerful and are far more effective than simply refraining from action. There's a verse, I don't know if I've got it here. No, I don't have it. But there's a verse where Krishna literally says that. He says that not simply by refraining from action will become free from reaction. Anyone know that verse? You heard that verse? It says, not by just giving up work will you become free from reaction. Not sure, maybe 12th chapter, I'm not sure. Alright, Mam Chayova Bacharana Bhakti Yogana Sevate. One who engages in full devotional service, unfailing in all circumstances, at once transcends the influence of karmic reaction and comes to the spiritual platform. Because bhakti is above the modes, it's beyond the karmic level. So by full connection on that higher level, naturally we give up the lower level. We get freed from the lower level. And the opposite of that is trying to be the enjoyer. Purusha prakriti stohi. Becoming the Purusha or enjoyer. Karanam guna sangosha sad asadyoni jamasu. We become implicated in karma when we try to enjoy the world, trying to control, enjoy, become the Purusha. Then we associate with different modes, then we become implicated in reactions. That's what happens. So this is the two states of being. This is what we're trying to avoid, and that's what we're trying to do. Is there any question on any of these points? Yeah. Which aspect of it? Like what service attitude is, or? Sorry, what did you say? There's more to it than being what? What was those two words? Than being more time than being? I didn't care.
Is there more to it?
Yeah.
Than being in that understanding of all I'm doing is for something that's higher than me. Like is there more to it?
Is there more to it than I'm doing this for something that's higher than me? Ah, right. Ah, right. Right. Okay. Service attitude, yeah. Yeah, so it's a sort of a generic word, like it's a lingo in ISKCON, Hare Krishna, like have a service attitude. So the ultimate situation or position of the soul, Lord Chaitanya explains in his teachings to Rupa Sanatana Goswami, he gives that verse, Jivara Sarupa Hoy, Krishnera Nityadas. You've heard that verse? So this is sort of the crux of the philosophy. The position of the jiva or the soul, the swarup, like rupa means form and sva means, so the own form or the ultimate form of the soul. What's the ultimate essence? Like we said, salt is salty. Sugar, it's sweet. So if you have something and you say, oh, this is sugar, and you put it in your drink and it's sour, this can't be sugar. The inherent nature of sugar is sweetness. Inherent nature of salt is salt. The inherent nature of the soul, according to Lord Chaitanya in the Bhakti text, is das, the service. That's the inherent nature, is to want to serve the Supreme Lord, Krishna, Vishnu, Radha, Krishna. That's the inherent nature. Those pure souls who are on the perfected level, that's their complete absorption is in pleasing, loving Krishna, making him happy, making Radha Krishna happy, making them happy. So that's the ultimate. And as this exact verse, right? Purusha Prakriti Stohi. You can look up this, chapter 13, text 22. This is the exact verse that describes the opposite of that. And that describes why we are caught up in this material world and why we need to try to cultivate that service attitude. Purusha, well, I haven't got the word for word there, but Purusha means the enjoyer. It's the enjoyer, that Govindamadi Purusha, right? The enjoyer, the control of energy. That's the Purusha. So we are Prakriti, right? So we are the energetic, like the sun and the sunshine. The sun is the source, the sunshine is the energy. So the Bhakti text explained to us that the Supreme Lord is the source and we are the energy. So our ultimate position is to serve that whole. That's our very nature according to the Shastras. But when we come to this world, we take that position as Purusha. So we, and Krishna, very intentionally, when he describes that all the elements, earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, false ego, this is 7th chapter, verse 4. And then in verse 5 he says, Apariyamitastvanyam prakritim vidhi me param. This prakriti, this energy, me param, superior, jiva bhuta, is the jiva or the soul. He says, so above all these, there's my energy, the jiva soul. So he's describing us as prakriti in that verse. We're the energy of the Lord. We're the servant of the Lord. He describes us as that way. That's our actual factual position, right? That's in the 7th chapter. But then in the 13th chapter, he talks, Arjuna asked him, like, how does the soul interact with the world? How does he try to enjoy, and how, he asks all these things. So notice that very intentionally, Krishna uses a different word. He uses this word, Purusha. And he uses Prakriti sto. Sto means situated in, and Prakriti in that sense means the material nature. Because Prakriti just also has energy or nature. So he turns it around and he says, all right, in this sense, we try to be Purusha. We try to have the enjoy mentality. Right? Bhunkte Prakriti Jan. Try to enjoy. Bhunkta Boja means to enjoy. Prakriti Jan, in this energy, guna, the gunas, goodness, passion, ignorance. We try to enjoy that. Karana means the cause. Guna Sango. Sangha means association with the gunas. Goodness, passion, ignorance. Guna Sangasha. Sad, asad. Sad means good. Asad means bad. Yoni means a womb, or, where you take birth. Janmasu means to take birth. So you take birth in good or bad species, literally. Like he's getting really, really concrete, down to earth here. He's saying, this is why you take birth as an animal, as a lizard, as a mosquito, as a tree, right? Sad, asad, yoni, janmasu are different. You're taking birth in different species according to associating with different modes, goodness, passion, ignorance, with the mood of Purusha, the enjoyer. Yeah. So essentially material consciousness means trying to be the enjoyer, Purusha. That's what, and that's just what it is. And it doesn't matter whether we're male, female, black, white, Indian, Australian, whatever. It doesn't matter how we do it. We may manifest this in this way or that way, but all of us, everybody, except the liberated souls who have come to give us pure knowledge, but everybody else is is Purusha Bhav, is taking this idea of that, I'm the enjoyer of this energy, which the Bhakti texts say is artificial, because we're not the enjoyer, we're the das, we're the servant. So in the beginning, it's very, very unnatural. It's very unnatural for us. Materially, it's very unnatural because we've been so used to trying to do this. Now, everybody here, whoever's here, has come to the conclusion, or we all are convinced to some degree that that's not working. We've all been trying and we've gone, there's something not quite right here. And we look at others who've been successful in controlling, enjoying the material world, even the ones who've been successful, and look at how they end up later in life and all that. And we see so we have that sense that, that isn't actually the way of happiness, but we're still conditioned to it, just because we've been trying for so many lifetimes. So when we say try to have the service attitude, we're trying to, with our intelligence, with our emotions are what, 90% we just want to be the enjoyer, or 80%, or whatever it is. But intellectually we're convinced, to some degree, whatever percent, we're convinced that I've tried that a lot in this life, and I'm damn sure I've been trying it in many lifetimes, and it hasn't actually worked. So even though in our emotions we still have that idea, oh, how am I going to enjoy it? What am I going to... And therefore we have nice prasad and we have kirtan and all that. It's fine, it's okay. That's just naturally how we are. But gradually, with our intelligence, as Krishna says, we have to guide the mind and emotions. Mind means mind and emotions. We have to guide them with the spiritual intelligence. And with our intelligence, we know, these texts are telling us, I'm not the controller and enjoyer, I'm actually the servant. I'll actually be happy, like these great acharyas, Rupa Goswami, and you can read their books, read what they say, and you're like, oh yeah, they are much happier than me. Like, orders of magnitude. Like, there's just no, like when you read what they're talking about, it's so above our ideas of controlling and enjoying this material world. So that's the mood they're in. And so therefore we try to cultivate that service attitude as much as we can, as much as we can, as much as we can maintain. We can't, there's no use like, oh, I'm just going to serve everyone, serve everything, and then, oh, it's too much, okay, I've got to leave and go back and go to the pub and have a bit. It's like, then that's not very good. So we have to be, intelligent about where we're at and do what we can keep maintaining, right? But with that in mind, that's just the practical things. But in general, we're trying to understand what that is, and ultimately it means serving the spiritual master, serving Prabhupada, the pure devotee, his representatives, service to them, which includes service to all the devotees, but there's also, the desires of the acharyas. If we can serve those, they want their mission spread, they want people to really understand Krishna and Krishna consciousness. So by giving out books on that, or teaching people about that, or doing harinams, or things like those direct things, then that level of service attitude is the higher level in a sense, but in another sense it's all absolute also, according to our service attitude. If we're sweeping the temple, so Krishna, for lifetimes I've tried to enjoy it, now I'm just going to try to serve you. This is a service I've got with this broom, I'm just going to try to do this. I've done many services which do not appear to be spiritual, like going out to pubs, try to sell t-shirts to people to raise some money to maintain the temple. It's like, how is that spiritual? No, that's not spiritual. But the service attitude that I had, however much I was able to, muster, whatever I had at that point, that was spiritual. So actually the service attitude is actually the only thing. There's one name of Krishna, he says, he's called Bhava Graha Janardana. And Bhava means the mood, devotee, right? Graha means to grasp, right? Bhava Graha Janardana. So Krishna, he grasps, or he takes the mood of his devotee. So actually the service attitude is actually all we can offer to Krishna, really, right? Krishna is God, he has everything. There's no use trying to give him a couple of apples or something, right? But one thing he doesn't have is our service attitude. We can give that to him. Yeah. Yeah. Just one thing is that whenever you pose a question and give two options, oftentimes the answer is not one of those two options. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So one idea I have, I really want to get make a video for YouTube. I haven't even got the channel up, but I have this idea to make these little, points of philosophy. Anyway, this is one of them, that so much of Krishna consciousness is just about turning the or into an and. Turning the ors into ands. Like, is it that I have to completely destroy myself and surrender, or I should just be really standoffish and not accept instruction from anyone? It's no, you have to do the service and you have to maintain your own sanity, and it's so. Anyway, we'll get to the question, but just as a comment on the question, oftentimes when we think in our head, is it that or that, then we're limiting ourselves. And if we can think, all right, is there a perspective I can take on this that makes it that, whatever that is, that concept, and that? Because this is such a fundamental part of our philosophy that when people actually explain Lord Chaitanya's philosophy, this is what they say. It's not a peripheral point. It's such a major point that when we say, what is Lord Chaitanya's philosophy, we say it's achintya bheda bheda tattva, which exactly means that. It's the same with and different from. So the living entities, the energy, the material world, everything in existence is the same as the Supreme Lord. Simultaneously, it's one. It's all the Supreme Lord. And it's different from Him at the same time, simultaneously and inconceivably. So that's our philosophy. So often when we have those dualities in our head, like is it this or that, oftentimes we just need to come to another level where it is that and it's that. Yeah. So can you tell me what the two options were? Because I forgot that. You just, that question just kind of sparked that thought. I mean, that's an overall thing, but the specifics was, what was the question again? Oh, the enjoyment of the service, even if we don't like it now. So one thing is we can even look at, now of course bhakti is beyond the modes, but still bhakti is the platform of bhakti is the mode of goodness, if you want to say. Bhakti is beyond the three modes, but at the same time we have to be approaching it in goodness. We can't be, in passion and ignorance. So we can also just look at the symptoms of mode of goodness. Is everybody know what does Krishna say about happiness in the mode of goodness? In Gita, you guys remember? Huh? Sukha dukkha da, yeah. Sukha means happiness, dukkha means misery, and da means giving. So. But what? Yeah. So that's in the very beginning, right? Mantra spashas to context satocha sukha dukkha da. Yeah. So that's saying bhakti is beyond any of those, right? But the mode of goodness. What does he say about happiness and goodness? We're talking about happiness, right? The happiness from doing a service, and the question was, do we get that straight away, or does it come later, or something like that? Ah, yes. Exactly, very good. Right? So mode of goodness is like that. It's bitter in the beginning. It's bitter. It's like doing the duty, controlling ourselves. It's not inspiring. It's not like, But then later on, it's very pleasing. It's very, very satisfying. Mode of passion is the opposite. What's the mode of passion? Really good. Ice cream. I try and eat the whole bowl. It's great. 2 hours later, oh my God, why don't I eat all that ice cream? It's mode of passion. So even in that sense, doing the duty, it gives some happiness, even if we're, So that's the first thing, But what was the specific question? Do the acharyas give happiness later on? Is that what you're saying? Oh, yeah. Oh, in this lifetime. Oh my God. No, they're reciprocating in that second. In that second. Yeah. I I clean toilet sometimes, and I'm just thinking. I mean, in my house, and I'm thinking, oh, it's just my service. Like Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he said, I'm the sweeper of the bhakti. What's it called? What did he call it? The namahata, that his movement. So that bitterness is the mode of goodness of doing the duty. That's on the material platform. But the sweetness of the service is there from, like, it's there, it exists in that point, according to our surrender and according to our service attitude. And it's just that as we progress, that sweetness becomes more pronounced, and we come to discern the bhakti sweetness, and the material mode of goodness, duty, just becomes like a little bit of sand in the sweet rice, but there's still a lot of sweet rice. But in the beginning, it's a bit like there's a bit of sweet rice in my sand. Because we're so used to just running and trying to enjoy, and then we come in and it's like, you're not the enjoyer, stop trying to enjoy it. And it's like, the mind goes, like going 100 miles an hour, and then bang, hit a wall. The mind is just like, it's intense. It's really intense. Yeah. And we should acknowledge that. Huh? It's an ego what? What was the word you said? Death. Oh, death. I didn't catch the word. Ego death. Yeah. Yeah. That's why we have to quickly, as much as possible, get that ego life of bhakti. Because when we get that, even if it's small, we'll see, oh wow, there's this real ego that I didn't have before. It's only small, but I can see. Every day it's growing bigger, that bhakti lata, that creeper of devotion. Because when we see that growing, then we can see, what the acharyas have, I've got the same thing, but it's tiny. Theirs is huge. So let me keep cultivating this, and one day it'll grow really big. If it's just ego death, then it really is Buddhism. we're here in the Hare Krishna movement practicing Buddhism. that's not going to... Oh no, yeah, I'm not criticizing what you said. I'm just going along with it. Yeah, exactly. That's what it is. Yeah, but it is an ego death. It's a false ego death. And it's hard. Like, it's hard after 30 years of trying. It's still difficult. But we see symptoms of it. We feel symptoms of it. Because in the spiritual world, the soul's actually tasting that spiritual rasgula, and it's seeing Krishna, and Krishna's smiling at you. So we're not there. We're not directly seeing that. But the symptom of that, the flavor of that, we can feel while we're doing that service. And it's very, very small, but we have to learn to recognize that. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we have to awaken. We get a taste of it. That's the thing. What's that song? Arama Koruna Pahudu Jana Nita Guru Chandra Sava Avatara Sara Siromane Kevala Ananda Kanda. Ananda Kanda. Kanda means a path. So it's the path of bliss. They're giving us nectar, like the nectar that they give in their path. Look at them. Hari. And the prasadam and all the kirtan and everything. They're giving that nectar. So we have to take care of that. Take care. So, yeah. Nobody else can take care of that for us. That's... yeah. the other thing that we're told to be careful of is, not just that we were the enjoyer and we still have that nature to try to enjoy the material world, but the other side of it is that we have the nature to just try to pull back from the material world. Like this is the Gyanis or the impersonalist idea, that similar Buddhism, but similar idea. Just I'll pull back and I'll get free from karma by just not interacting. The Bhagavatam says that because we're personal beings and we want to love, we want to be loved, nothing short of pure love will satisfy us permanently. So also in our bhakti, we can't just try to be really neutral, and no, we have to learn to act out of love in a spiritual way, which obviously we don't know what that is because of, small detail of 1,000,000 lifetimes in the material world, trying to be the enjoyer, small detail. So we do it in a very regulated way in the beginning, We take the flower, we offer it to Prabhupada, we sweep the temple, we help chop the carrots, we do, it's a very regulated thing because we don't have a spiritual body yet. But all of it is a means to express that love, that devotion, that spiritual devotion. And then, as we progress more, we start to we start to be able to see it in other things as well, and so on and so forth. So the idea is not to just become neutral, and this is the point, that's like a temporary freedom. Is there any questions on that idea? Somebody drank chai out of this. There's such a strong smell of chai. It's like water, but you can smell the chai. Cinnamon. It's okay. It's like every time I drink, it's like, chai water. Oh yeah, no, it's the cup. Yeah. Like this morning, probably someone had chai in it or something. It's okay. Random. No, don't say so. It's fine. I'm just filling this space because there's no questions. So I'm just going to keep talking. Is it clear? Similar thing, we can't kill all desire because our soul is made of desire. We also can't just become, one with the light and all these kind of ideas because it's temporarily free from karma. Yeah, temporarily free, right? At some point we'll get bored. Just like if you go on holiday, it's maybe very relieving because you're not in that cubicle with the 3 other people that you hate. You're from 9 to 5 days a week. But after you've been on holiday for 2 weeks, it's just like, oh my God, I need to do something, I'd rather just interact with them than do nothing. And that's the situation of the impersonal liberation. Being in Brahmajyoti is like, just, yeah. Oh, okay, sure, yeah. Sangasa, guna sangasa. See the qualities, that cup associated with the qualities of chai, and now it has taken those qualities on. Yeah, go on.
So I've heard a few times around here, like sharing your karma, like sharing food, or
Uh-huh.
taking from another person's plate, or
Uh-huh.
sharing a cup, or having sex.
I think that the different levels of what do you call it? In entanglement there that you've given, but it's why? Yeah. Yeah. Well, then it's just how much. It's how much. That's the verse, isn't it? Karanam guna sangosha. Right? So he doesn't say, and of course you have to, intelligently understand that when he says the cause is guna sango, is associating with whatever mode, the more you associate with that mode, the more is the cause. If you stand on one beetle it's not the same as, running a slaughterhouse or having like 10,000 cows every year. You have a property that every year you kill 10,000 cows. Like, okay, it's the same thing, it's violence, killing living, but there's no comparison to the amount. So if you sharing food with someone or something, there's that association there because, and that's why we don't eat out. And even if it's a vegan restaurant, whatever, still, what's the consciousness of that person that cooked that food? Do you want that as an aspiring bhakti yogi? Is that what you want? He's thinking that all life came for nothing, and my ultimate goal is to be the enjoyer. And if I don't kill cows and everything, then I'll enjoy more, and I'll be better enjoyer, and I'll live longer and to enjoy more and more and more. Like how is that anything to do with bhakti? So, of course, that's better than eating at a place where they serve meat. It's better, but it's not. But you still. My point is, you still associate. Well, not my. Krishna's point is that you're still associating it. So, to whatever level you associate with the mode. So, if someone's in mode of ignorance, to whatever level you associate with them, then you take on that ignorance.
So if I'm like in mode of this, I'm not even thinking about, all I'm thinking about is devotion about
That's all you're thinking about. Oh man, I need your association badly. Oh yeah. 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 Well, you by eating it, you're already falling down. That's the thing. No, the thing is, yeah. In the old days, some devotees used to go in the chocolate shop and they just walk in. Oh my God, swaha. Okay, all right, boys, the whole shop's offered. Just go for it. I don't know. I mean, you could sit here, ring a bell and say, I hereby offer every piece of food in this entire country. All right, just go and eat whatever you want. Now, that's very different to someone with devotional consciousness cooking something, And first of all, Krishna doesn't accept anything. He accepts the devotion, right? So if something is not cooked in a spirit of devotion, if it's cooked with a desire to enjoy, then Krishna's not going to accept that, even if we then offer it. Because why are we offering it? We're offering it to enjoy it. So he cooked it to be the enjoyer. We're offering it to be the enjoyer. How much enjoyment is left for Krishna? Not very much. Okay, there's the fact that you stopped to offer it before you ate it. All right, that much you get. But that's all. But then there's a lot of other, So it's a matter of enjoyment. And of course, if you're out, trying to spread Krishna consciousness, and the only thing to eat is, on the train station or something. Sometimes Prabhupada, even on train station, and he said, at least watch the guy when he puts the puris in the oil. You watch him. Say, I want that, and you watch him. You're directing him. So it's kind of like a brahmana's directing him. So that's a bit different. Like, there's various, adjustments if you really need to. Yeah. Whatever the mode is of the person cooking it, then that mode goes into the food, and then we take that, then that mode goes into us. So it's, yeah. Sometimes there's this whole thing like, how does the guru take on the karma disciple, and people get all whatever, and like it's not that unusual. In the Shastra it says like the king takes, the leaders take on the karma of the citizens. Like, you ever seen someone become president or prime minister and like 4 years later you look at them, it's like, man, what happened to you? Well, he's taking like, or she's taking like a good portion of humongous amounts of simple activity. And they take the good as well, but in the Kali Yuga there's a lot more sinful than good, so that they get really weighed down by it. So, yeah, there's all kinds of ways. Oh, that's what I want to say. Bhaktivinoda Thakur says that association is really a revealing of the mind, or like we're taking someone's food or something like that. Confirmed. But if we're just like sitting on a boat, like in India you often sit on the boat in Mayapur to go from one side of the Ganga to the other. And they're sitting there, you're sitting there, and it's just like, oh yeah, it's hot today? Yeah, it's hot today, yeah. And you get off and you go separate ways. He said that's not association. Or just asking someone, oh, can I have a ticket to go to Brisbane or something? That's not association. That's not a problem. The normal social dealings are not association. But, Rupa Goswami gives those 6 exchanges of love, right? Giving a gift, receiving a gift, giving food, accepting food, revealing your mind to someone, letting them reveal the mind to you. So when you sit with someone, oh, yeah, I'm in the Hare Krishna, but I don't know, I have a bit of a doubt about this and that, revealing your whole mind. Like that's association, it's like, but, so it's a whole science of what association is and what it isn't. And so, yeah. And it's not like all or nothing, it's according to. And that's why, like, if somebody's really advanced, we try to get their remnants. If someone's been practicing for 50 years and like clearly on a much higher level than us, if we can get something off their plate, happy days. Because we're associating with that. You know what I'm saying? That's why you'll see in all the scriptures, like, oh, they ate the remnants of the devotee. You think, why'd they do that? And that's why they did that. Well, some devotees they're very careful. They won't give their remnants for that reason. They won't give that. They'll be very careful not to. There was one devotee in Lord Chaitanya's time that he was trying to get the remnants of every devotee in Bengal. He wanted to get their prasad. You heard this story? You heard it? No. He like wanted the remnants from every devotee, all Lord Chaitanya's followers. So he had and there was one devotee that just wouldn't give him his remnants. Because it just said, no, you don't want my karma, you don't want that, So he didn't. So he would hide outside his house, and then his wife would come. You got to go? Yeah. I'll finish up with this story. I'll finish this story, and then go. Then, so anyway, he'd hide, and then the guy's wife would come and then throw it. So then finally he said, all right, I got it. So he offered him some mangoes, and everything he ate, everything, but then you can't eat the seed, right? So then he looked around and he threw it in the bush. So he was hiding and he went in the bush and he tucked on the mango. So yeah, sometimes devotees are very, very careful. All right, we've got to go. Thanks, guys. Haribol. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Bhagavad Prabhupada. Jai Ho. Okay, I'm coming. just open it up to as many people as possible to come and take the show and have some contact with Buddhists and what the kirtans going on and just devotees in general. There. So it would actually get in the way. So, exactly. Yeah. But then when we're here, the only garments book, everything's super clean, the offerings are right on everything, because that's what it is. Now, even here, in the bulk kitchen, it's another standard. They're not rather than not even in this way. Because our mission with Christian Village is to get as many people to come as possible, and they like vegan food, or it's 80% that's vegan, that's our mission there. So, alright, so we try to do that. Yeah. So, Christian's very important.
I wish I could tell you.
With a burger, I mean, to be honest, the burgers we get the buns from outside. The same Tukaram does the same thing, the big restaurant in America. So you kind of compromise it. But we make this vegetarian. It's put together by the devotees. It's
I wish you could reject it, like at one point. I wish he could just tell you when you're at the moment, like, you didn't offer it with love.
No, he won't reject your offer. Yeah, because we're trying. That's the point. Remember that letter Prabhupada wrote? That devotee wrote, said, I try and I can't follow, and then I try again. Prabhupada said, wow, you're trying. He said, that trying, that's bhakti.
Right.
Because, we're trying. Krishna will accept it. He may not accept it. Like devotee said one time, Prabhupada made sweet rice, and it was like from someone. It was just like nobody had. They ate it and they were just like stunned. So obviously, Krishna, the person Krishna in Golok Vrindavan, is directly eating that because Prabhupada, he is directly perceiving Krishna. So maybe not that level. Is not accepted, but whatever devotion we have, he accepts it to that level, But to him, I'm just making the point that if you go to a restaurant that's not run by devotee, even if it's vegan or whatever, still that whatever their consciousness is, we're associating with that because and they're not even trying to offer it. So we can't go there after someone took it that is not even trying to offer it, and then say, I'm offering this thing cooked by someone that is envious of you. It's not really. Right? But it's all gradation.
And then someone will say, it's fine. Like, I went to a vegan restaurant and I'm fine. So you don't know.
No.
It just affects us on subtle levels.
It affects us on a subtle level, and if we sometimes when someone some friend does it, whatever. I mean,